Early this morning, President Iván Duque left San Andres for the island of Old Providence in order to lead the action of delivery of humanitarian aid, healthcare, and the planned aim at removing debris and restoring services such as drinking water, communications, and electricity.
We are here again, leaving for Old Providence. I am accompanied by the Director of the National Risk Management Unit, the Commander of the National Army, and the Head of Operations of the National Command. We are leaving at this moment with medicines, with tents. We are also waiting for the arrival of boats today to do the distribution of humanitarian aid. The first challenge is the removal of all the debris, the cleaning of Old Providence, in parallel delivery of humanitarian aid, continue to the supervision in health matters, restore the flow of energy, communications, and the issue of water supply, and of course have the greatest capacity to deliver toilet kits to the community.
In this regard, he indicated that it is expected to advance in the cleaning and removal in the next 10 to 15 days to be delivering all the humanitarian aid to deploy the largest number of tents for the protection of families with their respective mattress. The head of the state considered that the reconstruction in the islands of Old Providence and Queclina, the most affected by Hurricane Eta, will be a huge challenge due to the level of destruction of the infrastructure. According to President Duque, in this planning and execution exercise, all entities continue to work as a team. Likewise, he emphasized that the following exercise is to have already built a reconstruction plan in the short term that has the possibility of being accompanied by reactivation of labor and productivity activity in the island of Old Providence.
The community of St. Louis also joins in sending help to their families and affected ones by the passage of Hurricane Iota in our sister island of Old Providence.
From St. Louis, our journalistic home was able to observe the departure of different boats with hundreds of humanitarian aid to the municipality of Old Providence, families and the community of the island of San Andres in general, in an act of love and solidarity with our brothers in the municipality, contribute a grain of sand to help those who lost everything after the passage of Hurricane Iota through the department archipelago.
My name is Catherine and I am going to search for my father's families. I don't know anything about my little brothers and sisters. I am also looking for some friends who gave me the hours and other people I have written down in my notebook who don't know anything about their families, and to bring clothes, food for my family and other people who are there who need it, and also to work in support for the people of Old Providence.
As this citizen of the island has just told us, there are many people who are boarding these boats to support the work of helping the brothers of Old Providence and helping in bringing people to the island of San Andres. This journalistic house will follow the development of this news that is recorded from the early hours of the day.
After not knowing the status of their relatives in the municipality of Old Providence, hundreds of islanders arrived at a boat departure site here in the department to send food to their families affected by Hurricane Iota.
Hundreds of people from San Andres and Old Providence settled in the department of San Andres arrived to send supplies and food to their relatives who are in the sister island of Old Providence. Let us remember that this time the municipality of Old Providence is isolated. There is no cell phone service, no electricity service, which is why through this aid they have had way to communicate with their families and know that they are well.
With our partners here, the artisan fishermen, together with the support of the government's delegation, we are delivering supplies and canned food, water in bottles, and really making this humanitarian gesture to support the people of Old Providence.
I sent perishable food to the island of Old Providence because I have sisters, nephews, and brothers-in-law who are relatives, so I am taking advantage of this means since they are friends who go to the island to be able to send them some food and impersonal things. Right now I am sending non-perishable food, and I am sending cornflakes, food, some personal hygiene things. I imagine they will not have anything there. I am worried about it. Comparing with the damage in San Andres, Old Providence is much worse. We must be compassionate. We must try to give something even if we do not have much. The generosity of the people who live in the department of San Andres has been noted. People who have no family on the island of Old Providence has also sold this place to bring food for people who are in the sister island. On the other hand, during the time of we have been here, we have also seen people who were on the island of Old Providence arriving at the sister island of San Andres show the boats that are carried food.
We also have testimony of the director of the IDEAM that lived directly the passage of Hurricane Eta in the municipality of Old Providence and Santa Catalina. She highlighted that this hurricane is historic not only in Colombia but in the whole world.
According to the data presented by the official who experienced the hurricane in her own flesh since she was in the municipality, on Friday at 10 a.m., Iota was described as a tropical depression. Around 7 p.m., it turned into a tropical storm. On Saturday at 10 a.m., it became a Category 1 hurricane, meaning that its winds range from 74 to 95 miles per hour. At the same time, Saturday, Iota was upgraded to a Category 2 hurricane at about 7 p.m. and its wind speed had increased to 96 to 110 miles per hour. On Monday at 1 a.m., Iota moved up to Category 3 with winds ranging from 111 to 129 miles per hour. But what surprised Gonzalez and the other EDM analysts is that in the next 40 minutes, the hurricane took on an unusual force, and in that short period of time, it ascended to Category 4 with winds between 131 and 156 miles per hour. By 4 a.m., it was necessary to classify it in the maximum Category 5 with winds above 157 miles per hour. The eye of the hurricane was 18 kilometers from Old Providence, which is why it was so devastating, because of the speed of the development.
We were under the eye of the hurricane in the lower bands. That's why it was so devastating, because of the speed of evolution and development. In my experience, is something never seen before, the speed in which it developed and evolved over Old Providence.
About the presence of another hurricane in the Caribbean, the director of the EDM made it known that there is a presence of a tropical wave in the Caribbean, but it only has a 20% probability of development and that the conditions are still being monitored.
And now let's learn about other facts that are making news in our regional panorama today.
The Environmental and Ecological Group of the National Police managed to rescue and return to its natural habitat a white heron which was disoriented inside a house in the Campo Hermoso sector of the island. The departmental government set up a characterization station to receive data on the number of people affected by Hurricane Iota. The objective is to quantify how many homes have been affected and then, with the support of the National Unit of Disaster Risk Management, to provide humanitarian aid to these families. The Carolina Environmental Corporation successfully carried out in the schoolhouse sector an awareness campaign about the key threatened and invasive species in the city flora, biosphere reserve, and saddleweeds that affect the fauna. During the activity, participants were given a recognition in addition to a tour of the Johnny Key Regional Natural Park.
And this is all for now. Wait at 8 p.m. with more news in our central broadcast of Teleislas News. Good afternoon.